So now this is a follow-up to my last video. Every video is just a follow-up to the last video. This is a follow-up to my last video where I was talking about judgment in a very inarticulate and non-eloquent way. I'm not even going to listen back to that video. I have completely stopped watching my videos after I make them. I've just been posting them. I don't even know what's in this. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just posting it. So in this last video, which felt very inarticulate to me, and I'm guessing was in fact very inarticulate, I was talking about the judgments and how, how they structure everything and how they're being powered, and that power is not your, it's essentially you're empowering something external, and when you get that power back is when you can create, the world the way you want and all that stuff. And I wanted to talk about judgment again. Specifically Esther Hicks, and I don't know if this was in one of the videos on my Esther Hicks channel. I'll link that below. I don't know if this was in one of the videos I just cleaned up the transcription for or what, but she said, we think about things as being true or not. That's where the beliefs come from. And we think of things as being good or bad. And that is where those judgments come from. It's just like a deeming a belief to be good or bad, or deeming an event to have been good or bad. There's a judgment. She said something that was so simply profound, I thought, which was, there are plenty of things that are true that you don't want in your vibration, essentially that you don't want in your frequency, in your energy. And so yet another reason, yet another sort of explanation for why you need these judgments to go, because they're creative. Beliefs are creative. Judgments are creative, especially judgments. Judgments, judgments like spawn 10,000 thoughts and beliefs. Judgments spawn so many emotions that suck to experience. And so, basically she was saying, within the illusion, I have to keep putting this caveat on there, there's what's true in the illusion, and then there's the truth, the overall truth, that the illusion is not real. There's what feels real in the illusion. There's good and bad in the illusion. There's right and wrong. There's true and false. Just because something is good or bad, true or false, doesn't mean that in the illusion that you should be allowing it to have anything to do with you. So, it from wherever you're coming at it, from whatever perspective you're looking at your life, whether you're still like firmly planted in the illusion and you don't want to leave it, which I think is, I was kind of there myself for the last 3 years. I had this experience when I was 23 or something, also early 20s. The same experience that I had in December 2019, which was the understanding that this wasn't real. Only at that time, when I was that age, I just wanted nothing to do with it. In fact, I was like, I don't want to go down this road at all. I understood this was from A Course in Miracles also. I understood what it was saying, and I started to feel the truth of it, and I just like turned around and booked it. I was just like, I don't want the life that I had in my mind as being about to unfold to not be what's real. I had all kinds of ideas about what I was going to do with my life. It was still wide open, and I did not want to. I still believed that there was perfection or something that could be found. The perfection that you can really only find by exiting the illusion. I still believed I could find that through the things I already expected to happen, and I just dropped it for almost 20 years. And so, that was my initial reaction, was just abject fear. And then again, 3 years ago, it felt really good to me this time because I had experienced everything between 23 and 40 at that point, and I was ready for something else. I had valiantly gone after the perfection within the illusion and experienced what that had to offer. So I was ready, but I think just the conditioning took this amount of time to fully slough off, and the experiences that happened in the meantime, which now, I've talked about what a total shitstorm the last couple of years have been since then, since having that like revelation, that understanding that felt good. COVID happened. My dad got sick and died, which I had envisioned before it happened. I met my fiance, which was a good thing, but also, I don't know, there just all kinds of things have happened that have caused change that I had to approach with that mentality, that not that this isn't real, but that I'm creating this, the mentality that this is happening for my own good because of my own intention. That was the way I approached all of that, everything that happened. So that in itself, I didn't really realize until recently was just a major success. In the past, I would have reacted totally differently. But just so many things happened, so many just random, seemingly external things, not things that I could say for sure, oh, I created that, I can see how I created that, that's been my big thing. I love to do that. Oh, I can see how my actions or thoughts created that. Things that I couldn't put together also happened. Things that I didn't feel like I had a fear about happened, that I had to kind of apply that to. This must be happening because I intended, I just had to get to this point. But so, within the illusion, if you're still comfortable there, you still want to be there, this applies to that too. If you want to live in the world of right and wrong, good and bad, desired, undesired, all those things that are judgments, you still don't want the ones. Just because something is true doesn't mean that you need to have it at all within your world. And so this is, yet another reason to look at the judgments that you have and decide if there's something that you want creating your life. And I don't know how far you can take this. Within the illusion, and this seems very evident from this different perspective that I'm coming at it from, and from all of the observation that I've now done, and specifically in the area of people talking about manifesting things within the illusion, it's very hit or miss. Have you noticed that? For you, for me, for everyone. Nobody is consistently, directly creating things within the illusion. We've seen this over and over again. It's like, and then you'll get something that seems to manifest instantly that you intended for, and then something else won't. There's no consistency to any of it. It's hit or miss. It happens sometimes, it doesn't happen other times. And nobody within the illusion who is still firmly rooted in there has mastered this. So I'm not sure how far you can get with just diverting your attention away from judgments that you have in order to not energize them, in order to not have them creating things in your world. I think it all is a process that inevitably leads you to the point where you hit a wall and you have to seek for something more. It's like this ever expanding experience. And so you have to start where you are. And there are a lot of videos on this channel that I think are getting to people where they are. And this idea of releasing judgment, thinking of judgment as something that you're energizing in order to keep it alive, essentially. I think that's a good place to start. And unfortunately, I think for some things, for some people, simply cutting off the blood supply to a judgment by taking your focus off of it and not thinking about it. I think for some things, for some people, it just naturally comes out that you have to do more than that. You have to go further into it. And my big issue in life that I've talked about a million times on here led me here. It led me to this place. It was the thing. It was the gift. I mean, you know, if you look at the big thing as it's the thing that has like everything for you to discover and uncover within it. Like, it's this big bad boogeyman, but inside it's just made up of a whole bunch of little things. And this one has turned out to be a huge gift for me. Because it led me to the point where I had come as far as I could go in the illusion. And in order to advance, which was my intention, I had to pop out of it completely. And it's really interesting also, just a side note from the illusion. In order to start to deal with all the judgments and stuff that I had about myself, my body, food, all of that, I made that intention from 115. I'm 5'3", so I was like pretty small. People were telling me like, don't get any smaller. And I gained back 30 pounds after making that intention over like the next year. I gained back 30 pounds through COVID, and my dad, specifically I gained like 10 pounds from COVID, and then another 20 when my dad got sick and died, and I went through that whole thing. And I've often wondered, why didn't I go all the way back to 195 where I was like why didn't it take me all the way back there? How come I didn't have to get okay with that weight? Why didn't I have to get okay with the worst thing I've experienced? How come I only had to get okay with this moderately uncomfortable thing? And I realized now that all I had to do, it only needed to get me back to the point where I started having judgments about everything that I couldn't ignore. I only had to get back to the point where I started really feeling pain for this to all happen. The UPS guy just pulled up, so I have to end this video. Anyway, have a great day.